This is Rosie Lalonde, and I want to welcome you to perfecting your flower images in Lightroom or Adobe Camera Raw. We're going to learn some really great things today, and I'm going to be working in Lightroom and Adobe Camera Raw to perfect white balance and exposure. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Adobe Camera Raw, and I've already made a snapshot for my straight out of the camera image. As we get started with this image, I'm going to do step 1, which is to crop. In Adobe Camera Raw, there's a tool that you can get by clicking the letter A, and that is the Straighten tool. I like this Straighten tool. It definitely helps me if I can follow along the area that's off angle. So as I drew this line, I drew it with the tilt. And as you can see, this comes up and it's a tilted crop. But if I double click on this, it really did a good job of straightening this image. All right, so I do like that, and I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to use Shift-Command-S on my Mac to do another snapshot. If you're on a PC, it's Shift-Control-S. And I'm going to call this After Crop. I'm going to go ahead and click on my basic panel icon and move into the basic panel and look at white balance to begin with. In all reality, there's not anything wrong with the white balance here. I would like to look at a few things to determine, do I want to make a change here or not? I think, if anything, it could be a little more saturated, but let's look at the white balance and see. If you've seen Lesson 1 in this series, you will know that we need to find either an area of neutral gray, white, or black to attempt to perfect our white balance. However, as I indicated in that lesson, I find that unless I really have an area of neutral gray, the white balance doesn't work all that well with white or black. Let me just give you an example. I'm going to touch the letter I to get my white balance tool, and all of this area around the edge here is really pretty white. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. Okay, nothing will happen because it says the clicked area is too bright to set the white balance. Please click a less bright neutral area. As discussed, I don't have a neutral gray area, so let me try white somewhere else. That did lower a color temperature, and it did lower the pink. And going into this, I just felt like it probably needed a little more vibrant, so I'm not real thrilled with this. Here's the color temperature that was chosen by Adobe. This is where we were out of the camera, and frankly, I like the out of the camera better than I like anything else. So now that I've seen what I don't want with my white balance, I'm going to show you a little drop-down box that's available in both ACR and Lightroom. And that is this white balance drop-down. And as you can see, there are a variety of white balance presets that can be used to try to perfect the white balance of our image. So I'm going to go through each one. Auto is definitely too blue for me. Daylight is not bad at all. I want to see where we were. As shot, we're at 5250 degrees Kelvin with a +3 in tint. And if I go to daylight, it's raising the Kelvin temperature 250 degrees. And it's also giving me a +10 in the tint. What else do we have? We've got cloudy, and that's definitely too warm for me. Shade, which is even more warm. Tungsten, which is not appropriate for this image. Fluorescent, really not bad at all. This is 3800 degrees Kelvin, but a +21 in the tint. Let's look at one more. Flash, 5500 degrees Kelvin with 0 tint. That's really similar to the daylight. The daylight had more pink in it. I'm going to go ahead and go with flash. And I'm going to be really happy with that right there. There is one caveat about using the white balance preset dropdown. If you have not shot in RAW, the only thing that you will see is as shot or custom. Certainly you can use the temperature and tint sliders to perfect your white balance, but there will be no presets available. So on to perfecting my exposure. The mantra is lower highlights, up shadows, and up whites, and see where you are. I really like that. I think I'm going to lower my highlights a little bit more because we're in danger a little bit of having some blown out whites here. As we know, this is already blown out. The shadows has really affected the center of this dahlia beautifully. I couldn't be more happy. And the whites, I'm happy right there. So I'm going to make another snapshot that says 2 after white balance and exposure. All right, well, now would be the time where I would want to take this image into Photoshop to do some perfecting. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and go on to my Lightroom version of this image. Now here's our image in Lightroom. And as you can see, I've already created a snapshot of my image straight out of camera. Remembering that our first step is to crop, I look at my image and determine that it's got a slight angle that I'd really like to straighten. So I'm going to click on my crop tool, and then I'm going to go to the angle crop tool. And with the angle crop tool selected, I am going to just follow the angle that I see in this image. When I let go, it straightens it, and I'm really very happy with that. Now that I'm happy with the straightening of my image, I'm going to go ahead and make another snapshot. I want to go on to my steps in perfecting. And so I'm going to start with white balance. And as I said earlier, Adobe Lightroom has the white balance drop-down. It just doesn't look like a drop-down. We have all of the options that we saw in Adobe Camera Raw, providing that you shot RAW. If you shoot a JPEG, you can certainly amend the white balance of your image. However, under the drop-down, it will only show you as shot and custom. So as I've gone through all of the white balance preset, I'm going to go ahead and choose Flash just like I did in Adobe Camera Raw, and I'm going to make a new snapshot. I'm going to move on to my tone, where I'm going to lower my highlights, raise my shadows, which is doing a really nice job here in the center of this dahlia, and I'm going to raise my whites. Based on raising my whites, I'm going to drop my highlights down just a little bit more, and that's really just perfect. Being pleased with this, I'm going to make another snapshot. I'm going to be happy with this just the way it is. A few things I want to do to it in Photoshop anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Photo, Edit in 2019. The shortcut is Command-E or Control-E on PC. I would like to thank you for watching this complimentary on-demand video. I would encourage you to continue with the 15 additional lessons in this series. It will take your post-processing skills to a new level of excellence. Be sure to use the special link and coupon code found at the end of this video.